Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Let me know when you can hear me. Late? I'm always late. You should know this by now, chat. Oh my god. Hold on. What's up, Tion? What's up, Infinite Omniverse? What's up, Pinky? Pinky. What's up, Fangirl? What's up, Dark Void? What's up, Kazin? How are you all doing? How you all doing? It's super hot in Luxembourg right now. It's about 70 here. Actually, not that bad today. Alright, so first things first, just like yesterday, we're just going to showcase what the event is like here. So, after you've scanned the card, talk to this lady. She says she could take you to Vermilion City in Kanto. And we're on the docks. You should recognize this. It should look very much like the SSN docks. I opted to not let you surf left, even though in the original games you can. You talk to this guy. He says, appears they're doing work on the dock. You want to head back? Say another time. You surf right. You'll find a very familiar scenario. So it's just a truck here. Kind of looks like something, you know, nothing's going on. All the way down here. Nothing either, just like in the original games. There are no surf encounters here. You actually can't even fish here. If I go and I do fishing. I wish I could have had encounters here, but I could not. Do I even have an old rod? Like, if I do an old rod, you don't even find... Like, it will say nothing. It'll never give you a fish. So. Then, you talk to the truck. Huh? It looks like there's something under this truck. Uh-oh. What happened? That's a bug. That might have been because I walked too far south. Nobody saw that. I thought I fixed that. Hold on. No, hold on. I think it's because I walked south, maybe. Let's see. I actually had a huge problem this morning before the stream. Yeah, there it is. There's Mew. I had basically... So I had a huge problem before this stream where I realized I developed this entire event without a GBA BIOS. And so Mew's sprite was fucking up on retail hardware really bad. And I was supposed to spend most of this morning unpacking. I spent most of it trying to fix this. But as you can see, Mew shows up. You can run. There you go. Now, one of the coolest things I did for this one was I'll show with my DS here. So watch. So I'm going to run here. Right? Notice I'm not touching the D-pad. So after you press A here, after the Mew flew away, if I hit A, May just turns upwards. I just put some code in there to make it easier for shiny hunters to do runaway encounters here. So all you have to do is mash A and run for a shiny hunter. So Mew shows up. Run. And then all you have to do after you click run is mash A. Easy as pie. And so that's pretty much how you could shiny hunt this Mew. It should be pretty easy. Now let's catch it. Yeah, it can be transferred to home. This reads as an English faraway island Mew. So once you catch the Mew, you can go up to the truck. It says, look like there's nothing else here. And then you can say this guy, want to head back then, and you're back. I'll actually show, welcome to Blissed God Pinky. What the heck? Everybody show Pinky some Blisy love. It's very generous of you. I appreciate it. Actually, I want to show Toasty this. Because Toasty's an actual shiny hunter. Well, I mean, I'm sure some of you are non-RNGers as well, but... So if you ever want to shiny hunt this event Mew specifically, I have a little built-in feature for the Mew. So May faces right to look at the Mew, but you notice you start the encounter facing up. So when you run from this, and you just hit A here, without hitting the D-pad, May automatically turns up, so you can just mash A to re-encounter. Just a little shiny hunter bonus meme. Alright. I'll fix the scientist before I launch it. I know how to do it, too. There you go. Alright, so, what we're going to be going for isn't just... And I can actually tell you a bunch of really funny things about this. So, the Mew is actually the fat man here. The Mew is actually this. And the sailor is actually this woman. And then this sailor is the truck. And the boat stays the boat. So, like, when you go over here, this boat is literally just the thing. And then the Mew is the fat man. The Mew turned into the scientist because I turned the Mew into a scientist to make sure it doesn't conflict with May and the truck's palette. May and the truck share palette. You'll notice Mew doesn't look quite right. It's I'm not using a custom palette. I'm just using the built-in palette. You notice its ears are like blue and its eyes are a little bright blue. It's also got kind of got a blue border. It's a little hard to notice, but the palette isn't quite 100% correct. And that's because it's using the same palette as the scientist, but it just happens to look good enough. All right, so let's get on underway with the RNG minute. So, excuse me. We're actually gonna be. Oh, I forgot one thing actually. About to start. Gonna be hear computer noises. One thingy forgot to do. Give me a moment. Pokefinder. Doing a minor amount of scamming. Thanks for the donation. Oh, that was probably Pinky's. What's up, Curb? How you doing? Almost done. All right. Stu, what we're going to do today is actually try and do a painting RNG for the Mew. I'm going to try and get a Mew with good stats in addition to all of the other stuff we're doing. So let's get that underway right now. Let's make sure this all works right now, since I just did a save, restore, and back up. All right, perfect. Works perfectly fine. So now we're gonna do the entire situation that we have here. So I'm gonna be aiming for seed A1A. Paint Flowtimer Converter. We're playing on the S1. Seed advances. This. Pokemon advance. Here we go. And we're already starting. Oh wait, I'm not in the right spot. Lamau. Gotta make sure that you're actually in the right location. So we have to leave here. We have to go to the painting. Luckily, we're right in Sutopolis, so shouldn't be too hard. Now there are going to be some... There is going to be some interface, and you know, it might even be superior to do this and then well, I don't know if it's going to be better to just walk out of here. What's up, Ice Bro? What's up, Flash? It'd be better to just walk out and then fly. I think it's probably about the same. So we are going to get some interference from NPCs, which is going to suck, but what can you do? All right, here we go. What's up, Otter666? How you doing? This should not be a long wait. The first wait... is only 2,500 advances. This might be... I might be cutting it close. Will I be able to make it in time, or will I have to go for another? We gotta go fast. Oh, we're fine, actually. No worries at all. All right, there we go. So this is the text, I believe, if I'm looking at my own source code right. After I press this box is when set while battle occurs. This looks very cool. Thank you, Nicholas. Appreciate you. No, we're not going to get it first try, but that's all right. We're going to use this for our calibration moment. See what seed we hit, all that type of good stuff. Oops. What's up, Wyatt? How you doing? Alright, so doing a Mew, who is docile, level 30. $103, 73, 24, 69, 70. Oh, what are we aiming? $30, 103, 73, 74, 69, 70, 68. Soul Mage. Was my seed that far off that it was? All right, we found, what is happening? We were actually fairly close to the, it seems we were actually fairly close to the, thing, but our seed was way off. So we hit A2C, which... Frame. Alright, we try again. And once we start getting close to on seed, then we... I have a video on how I've done that, Cryo. I have multiple videos on how I've done that about the Nintendo e-reader. And it's not even, you know, it's not a hack. It's, well, it's like, you know, not a hack, but... All right, that's 2 advances. 2, 3, 4. That's like 5 or 6. We've got like 8 to probably 12 RNG advances happening. And there we go. What? A Pokemon? I love the little exclamation point situation. I think it's cute. I don't know. I love that I did this in Ruby and Sapphire. Does anyone else think it's like insanely unhinged to have done this in Ruby and Sapphire compared to, you know, like I've rebuilt the whole Fire Red map. Well, there's a difference, you know, the difference between legal and legitimate is what you make of it. Right? You know, if someone's a pure player who doesn't want to ever run any mods ever, you know, they're not gonna enjoy this. And that's totally valid, of course. I would never say that's invalid, right? But for someone who, like, for me, you know, ROM hacks always miss out on the continuity of Pokemon. I was saying this yesterday. And this is a way to keep continuity that ROM hacks lack, while still giving you new experiences in the game that you love. And it still allows me to play in a way that I enjoy. We were still quite a bit off on seed. This would have been... We're way closer now. We're like 4 seeds late. Dude. Alright. Let's try again. So this lets you experience extra content while keeping full continuity and legality. But I think, you know, if you're stipulating between legal and legitimate, it's just, for me, it's like, there's almost a meaningless distinction. And Tank, welcome to Happy Knee. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Everybody show some Blisy love to N-Tank. Or Blisy Pog. Whatever, you know, whatever you're more happy with. Whichever emote you're happiest with. Where's my, the Blisy. I actually really like the Blisy love emote. Oink. Shaboing. Love the new DLC video. Thank you very much. So that's 2 advances. 6 total advances I've witnessed. 8 advances. Shiny Diglett appeared. What's going on? What's up, Empty Belly? How you doing? By the way, guys, if you're having a good time, please consider liking the stream. I'd really appreciate it. We're at 90 viewers, but only 30 likes. So if you're having a good time, please consider it. It would really help me out. Yo, Pinky, thank you for the gifted. I appreciate it. Everybody show Pinky some more Blisy love, or Blisy Pox, depending on your persuasion. Let me actually... What was I gonna do? I was just gonna do something. I don't remember what it was. I was gonna do the little poll. Yeah, I was gonna do create poll. Poll. Oh wait, oh, I fucked up. I was only supposed to hit A once there. The Mew is generated after the Mew dialogue. These hunts are so fascinating to watch. I was able to get my shiny Mudkip and Emerald the other day because of my tutorials. Awesome. I'm glad they were able to help you out. Yo, what's going on, Fativan? How you doing? What's up, Felipe? How you doing? Don't really appreciate misgender and forcing say hi to me, but that's okay. Long time ago, I got a shiny Torchic because of my tutorials. Based? Which game? You would have messed up your save file if you tried this? There's no way to mess up your save file doing this event. It's so easy. We leave it here. Thanks for the donation. Thanks for the donation. I was taking a screenshot. Want to put them on your PAL, Ruby and Cypher. The problem is with making PAL events is it takes a lot of effort, and I don't have... it's not worth... Like, it's basically, like... It's a lot of effort to get them working into PAL, Ruby and Sapphire. I only did it for Jirachi and Celebeat. Mostly because those are entirely unique. Compared to everything else. Oh, the nature's wrong. It's adamant. So we were still quite late. He won not. Oh no, that's one early. All right, we were one advance early. And like 10 RNG advances left. Say that we hit the seed. Seed. All right. Put that in there. I'm actually feeling a little bit disheveled right now. So yeah, hey, what's going on, Mux? It's not just translating the cards, because I got people to help me translate, but it takes so much time to find all of the memory addresses and stuff that I need to find that it's literally not worth my time, because I have to spend my time to make these YouTube videos and stuff. So I don't know. Nick Losby, thank you for the membership. I appreciate it. Everybody show them some Blisy love. Yeah, we're almost at 5 members. And like, I could spend the time to not translate everything and just get the code working, which would probably be a little bit quicker. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. It's not even that I can't do it. It's that it's very tedious for me to do it and for me to test it in every single revision of every single version of Ruby and Sapphire. That's really the biggest problem. Can you get a view on the fake version of Emerald this online? Yeah, probably. How can I leave a like with the new YouTube layout? What are you talking about? I guess I was in Jeff's stream yesterday. Is it still just a like? I'm going to my live stream. I see the like button. It's just directly under my channel name, but maybe I'm crazy. Oh, I don't have a different layout. Yeah, it only when you get into some of the weirder functions have other, like in my first batch of events, Celebi, all the first batch of events that I did worked on every revision of English Ruby and Sapphire without any problems. But then, and I think Jirachi also worked on every revision without any problem, actually, now that I'm thinking about this. But with the legendary beasts, they stopped. The first one that I encountered that didn't work on every single revision was Get Unknown by Personality Type. Was the first one that I got that didn't so we were actually 1 seed late. We were literally 1 seed late. We were 1 seed early, 1 frame late. We were really close. Actually really close already. Actually, maybe I shouldn't have even adjusted that, but let's see. What's going on, Jeff? Legendary Beasts are not. Legendary Beasts is too much work. Again, I could not translate them into the other languages. When you start translating, the big problem I found that when you start translating the events into other languages, I run into severe memory problems because certain languages, specifically, I will say, it's Italian and German are the problematic languages here. Words in Italian and words in German are so fucking long that it actually, like, literally takes up more space just with dialogue because the words are so long. Like, ticket in Italian is like 15 characters. It's like biglietti or something, or biglietto. I can't remember with the... And so, like, I could just do the memory addresses things without actually localizing it fully. And that would be a little easier. But it'd still be a huge pain. And for Emerald, I won't do it in Emerald at all because Emerald doesn't even have, like, any memory addresses anywhere relevant. And I would just have to manually search. Like, it's not a matter of I don't know how to do it, because I do know how to do it. The issue is it's very time consuming to sift through and manually find where every single specific program is located by looking at the machine code. It's very annoying and I don't want to do it. Basically. So that's also a big issue that I have. The fuck did Jeff just type? Jeff, you should put that in the project section. Good poll, thanks, Lappy. Lappy, I wrote your thingy down on the fucking board, on the planning board. So I will be streaming someday next week your ROM hack. Alright, we were on seed 3 advances early. I don't know if I'm going to adjust it. I'm not going to adjust this. The collaborative one. The third project section. Fuck. Well, it's a stream. It's a lot less commitment. No, 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 no. Fuck. Jeff and I have a private work Discord where we do stuff together. Yeah, if I fail this mute today, I'll probably just continue it tomorrow. Alright, that was 2 RNG advances from that guy. 2. 4. That was 8. So the painting giving you the correct seed has no effect on what seed it gives you, because it's not using the PRNG values. It's using the vertical blanking values, which the NPCs don't interfere with. I did get Deoxys yesterday, yeah, and a Clefairy from that. Remember, folks, this is all done on a real copy of Ruby. I'm playing it on my DS right now. That's a real copy of Ruby. It is not a ROM hack. It is a RAM hack, technically. I would say is what it is. Because a lot of people get mad because the video titles say without hacking. And a lot of people are like, you're clearly hacking. And it's like, shut up, man. RAM hacks are just gaslighting the game. It's true. I think I'm gonna do another rip real quick, and then we'll try it. Well, it's true. It's true. I'm changing none of the read-only memory values, right? A ROM hack is where you go into the game's code for stuff that's permanent. Oops, for stuff that's permanently there, and you change it. I'm not doing that. This cannot and does not change your Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, or Emerald in any permanent way. Oh. Yeah, I gotta start making my own game. What did you just read? What happened? What? Was something weird there? Can you do ARM ASM? I can do thumb, not ARM. I'm sure I could learn ARM. It's probably not that different, but I do thumb. Oh, is it in live chat? I'm in top chat, I think. Going to... Someone mentioned meeting you at a Best Buy in Erie County. Erie County. Ohio. Erie County, New York, and Ohio. Well, I technically have been to Erie County, New York, but never Ohio. I have no idea. I think they assumed I lived in upstate New York or something. But yeah, I do thumb assembly for these projects because thumb is more, like Erie County. I do thumb assembly because it's a smaller language. Each opcode is only 2 bytes rather than ARM where each opcode is fucking 32 bits. Which is like, damn. Really need 32 bits just to say I want to add 1. But of course, obviously, the benefit there is. I'm not stupid. I know there's benefits, which is like it lets you immediately address larger values and stuff like that. But I don't need to be doing a lot of that stuff. Oh, you're not gentle. Two seeds early, 2 advances early. Hey there, Blisy. Just want to say I love what you do, and these are the coolest thing ever. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you, Spitonic. Appreciate you. As I said yesterday, I'll eventually make themes for the new Eon Timer. Just a lot of work figuring out what is separate. Yeah, I would love to have that Latias theme again. I would love to have that Latias theme that I have on Eon Timer 3.0 for the new Eon Timer 3.0. I miss it dearly. ARM is more. I mean, ARM is not going to be that different than Thumb. Like, I've written a little bit. I've done some ARM because you write ACE codes for Gen 3 in ARM. So I have written ACE codes. But, like, it's my experience in ARM is, like, a lot more. You know what I mean? Yeah, welcome to Happini, Spedonic. Appreciate you. Like, and I know, for example, that this game for, like, Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, they were written in C. They weren't written in assembly, but the C compiler compiles it to Thumb. Like, all of the native functions in the game are in Thumb. Yo, welcome to Happy Knee. Everybody show them some Blissy love. The thing about assembly languages is they're pretty easy to understand, in my opinion, so far from what I've learned from Thumb, ARM, and Z80. And I was playing this, the fun part, like, the hard part about them is optimizing them. Like, you don't have, like, I think the nature of them is that you don't have, like, a ton of commands. And you, like, the words in the thing can't do something specifically complex. So you have to figure out how to do those complex things yourself in a way that's space efficient, which I do enjoy doing. Even if I'm not the best programmer. Like, I actually got such, like, it was so funny when like, so many people, like, I tried very hard to make it clear, like, a lot of, for multiple reasons I did this. In these videos where people see the thing that I did. Whoa, how was I that late on the seed? That's fucked up. I was like 4 late on the seed. No shot, bro. A lot of people are like, oh my god, you're, like, such a genius, or, like, this is, like, the cool, like, you're some master programmer. It's like, no, I am an idiot. Like, like, if I could figure out and learn how to do this, and you are interested in this type of thing, anyone else can on Earth, because I am not special. You know what I mean? So if I could do it, you could do it. And if you're interested in doing something like this, like with the e-reader specifically, I've been trying to like help out as many people as I can in the e-reader dev help section to make their own little events. Thanks for the donation. It's not just logic puzzles. It is a lot of logic puzzles, but when you're working on something like this, right? Like, yes, this is a logic puzzle, but it's also like, you have to understand, like, from my perspective, it's a lot of not just understanding, like, the GBA's CPU in terms of handling the registers. Like, you have to know the registers, and, like, you have to know what they're used for, and, like, manage your register space, which is kind of a logic puzzle. But you also have to be very familiar with, like, the hardware, and in my case, I have to be familiar with the software. Like, I have to be very familiar with what functions are built into Pokemon Emerald. I have to really know where the RAM addresses are in Pokemon Emerald, and where the game likes to put things, which is, you know, not something you normally deal with when you're making your own game. Because you're planning those out yourself when you make your own game. When you're doing something like this, you know, I'm using somebody else's game, and I have to find where they put the sprites, and I have to find where they put the object events and stuff like that. There's documentation on a lot of RAM addresses, and some of them there's not. Like, I had to find G object events myself. And, like, yes, it is documented in the sense that, like, we're 1 seed late. Couple of advanced. Like, yes, they are all in the decomp, or most everything is in the decomp. Oops. But, you know, you have to be able to navigate it. Not only do you have to be able to navigate the decompilation effectively, you have to know what you're looking for. Like to get the custom Mew sprite into the game, I had to spend a lot of time figuring out how the game, like, I knew G sprites was there, but I had to spend a lot of time figuring out, okay, how the fuck does the game draw a sprite? And I have to go to the fucking sprite drawing function, and I have to look, what are you doing right now, game? And I have to trace that, and then I have to look at like 15 different functions just to figure out what this stupid ass game is doing to get a sprite into the spot. You know what I mean? It's stuff like that. That is, like, hard. Can I read C? I can read C only because of the decomp. I've never written anything in C. At all, but, hold on, my brain isn't working. I've never written anything in C, but I don't really have much trouble reading the code in the decomp anymore. I used to, when I first started doing this, I had a lot of trouble reading the code in it, but now I'm pretty comfortable reading it. But I've still literally never written anything in C. The code's very readable in it. I would totally agree. send something to Jeff. Let's see. You could write your own game in some high-level language. I was thinking of... Oh, ow. I was thinking of writing... I want to target a retro platform, is what I want to target. My goal for when I make a game is I'm going to target a retro platform. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do Game Boy Advanced or Game Boy / Game Boy Color. I think I want to do something like that when I make my own game. All right, we were like 5 frames early. Put that in there. We hit the correct seed. For the Blisy 32. Jeff right about. I don't think I'm gonna be able to read this until stream, Jeff. The GBA is a much... The Game Boy Advance is a... Game Boy Advance is a more friendly C/C++ system. There are ways to write C code and C, like, even higher level languages for Game Boy Color. But I think if I was to do Game Boy Color, I would want to do... I would want to do assembly because it's just more efficient. You'd have more potential out of it. Is it just the... I'm looking for perfect IVs as well. And shiny. This is not a ROM hack. This is a RAM hack. Let's make some RNG use lockpicking. Well, the first game I would make would be a tiny game, like a small game, something like Arkanoids or Space Shooter game. I actually have a pretty good idea for what I want to do for that first tiny game, but I'm gonna have to actually start doing it. This was all loaded into the game like an e-read, like via an e-reader card. This is a standard, regular copy of Pokemon Ruby. I don't even feel... Like, look, I can prove it's a copy of Pokemon Ruby. Ready? Oh, the game crashed because I ripped out the cartridge that I'm playing on! Yeah, the modifications that I do are to the, Whoa. Oh. I didn't do that one on purpose. That one was, it just happened. It is well, it's legit in the sense that it reads exactly like a faraway island Mew. I have a bunch of videos on this. If you're interested in the stuff I did, I have a lot of playlists about this. I have one playlist with a lot of this information on it. Well, you guys got to understand, I only started coding, like, no, that's bad, run. Like, you know, people go, oh, for someone who's never coded any time in their life. Now, I had done a very minor amount of coding before this video, okay? I had wrote one program in C++, right? One program in C++, which I converted into a JavaScript program so it could run on my website. And then I made my website, which is HTML and C++, okay? That is all the coding experience I had. And if you look at that, like, programming, it's bad. Like, it's very, very simplistic. The stuff I had to do for these is a lot more complicated. And, like, the first time I got into it was for this video. So, like I said, anyone can do it. I want to be encouraged. I want to be an encouraging force. Well, that's up to you, Nintendo Fan Club. Obviously, I don't think that because I'm doing this. I obviously didn't invent a time machine, so, you know, this is not legit by your standards, then. It's good enough for my standards, though. Well, there's really no difference. My game just crashed again. Is my DS angry at me? Can you only shiny hunt on original hardware? No. Many people shiny hunt on emulators and stuff like that all the time. Yep, I pretty much agree exactly, internal screaming. I think that's pretty much the same as what most people should feel. Second. Okay. Have you beat Red in Gen 2? Of course. Red in Gen 2 is easier than Red in Gen 4. We haven't seen this sassy one before. One, 6, 7. Alright, we were 2 seeds early, 1 RNG advance late. We'll just go again. Because I don't like using... I don't like using the Ace RNG jump code. The Ace, you know, speaking of what feels legitimate and what doesn't feel legitimate, the Ace RNG code does not feel legitimate to me, like, at all. The fun part of RNG is using my skill to manipulate the game and, like, bend it to my will. Using the Ace code to do all of that for me just saps the fun out of it. And it feels like it cheapens the experience. Again, it's totally valid if you don't feel that way. I would never say anything. I would never... The last thing I am interested in doing is making people feel invalid or something. It's really just how you want to enjoy yourself. This is a children's video game. Hey, what's going on, Cal? You know, I've had this discussion a million, billion times. And it's just like... It's just silly to have a thought otherwise that you should be playing the game the way that you enjoy it. By the way, folks, I noticed something interesting here. If you'll notice, I have a poll that says, did you like the stream? And it has 158 votes. But the only answer to the poll is yes. If we take a look at how many likes that I have, I only have 84. Math ain't mathin', folks. The math ain't mathin'. If you hit yes on the poll that you liked the stream, you are legally obligated to like the stream now. I will send my lawyer after you. Folks, legally, you're obligated to like the stream. All right? You have to understand this. If you hit yes on that poll, you have to click the button. It must be pushed. Am I legally obligated to be under the truck? If you voted on the poll, yes, I liked the stream while under a truck, you have to get up out of your seat, go to the nearest truck, go under it, hypothetically, and hit the like button. Is my lawyer Shao? No. We'll like in 3 to 5 business days. Shit, that's a loophole. That is the loophole. I didn't actually specify when the contract was deliverable by. Your neighbor has a truck and they're weirdo. My neighbor has like 15 trucks. Okay, it's not 15, but the number is not low. The number is at least 3 pickup trucks. Like, damn. Most Americans, I think they need a pickup truck and actually don't need that many. If you think you need 2 pickup trucks, you probably only need 1 pickup truck. And you don't even probably need the singular one. Americans love pickup trucks, and it's like a LARP thing, right? Oh, I got beasted. It's like a LARP thing, right? Where you just like... Where you want to be like a... You want to be like a big, strong person who does lots, like... Most people aren't needing a truck. I have 18 pickup trucks. Each more lifted than the last. Do I think they will discontinue Pokemon Bank? Yes, eventually. There was never a shiny event Celebi, ever. I think today's thumbnail is proof that stream thumbnails literally don't matter. Am I insane? Or is this a good thumbnail? Maybe I have it backwards. Maybe I've made a good one. Every single YouTube stream has to have a thumbnail. Thumbnail got your attention? Damn. Maybe I'm wrong. Mew Hall is peak. Alright, we were on seed a couple of frames early. Yeah, I knew about that, but that Mew can't go anywhere. Well, that Mew's not an event, is it? Isn't it just in the game? In Emerald, Celebi's generated on first talk, but in Ruby and Sapphire, I think it's on the... I mean, I could just check. I have the code. Hold on. Beep boop. Looking at source code. Hold on. Does Mew have a license to drive the truck? No. Luckily, you don't need any special qualifications to drive a U-Haul. Which is crazy. They just let a motherfucker take it. All you need to drive a U-Haul is have a driver's license. Celebi. So yeah, for Celebi in Emerald, like I said, it's just when you first talk to it and the screen flash happens, they're all like that in Emerald. Why can't I tell what's going on? Oh, it would be on the yes or no box press, Jeff. So when you select yes, I think that's the last piece of dialogue before the Celebi cry. It's generated before the Celebi cry. So it's generated when you press A on the yes or no box, and that's when it's generated. And then it'll play Celebi's cry and show a Celebi. It'll show a Celebi like text box. It's before that. The Celebi's already generated. Mew's and this is done in a similar way. No, I made my own event to encounter Celebi. I mean, it reads as a legitimate Egeto Celebi. But then if it's shiny, it won't transfer up because shiny Celebi is impossible in Gen 3. You could keep it in Gen 3, but it won't go past Gen 5. It'll go into Gen 5. That's as far as you can take it. I knew that was a bad run. What do I think about modern Pokemon? It's okay. Depends on the game. Legends Arceus, goated. This Mew will go through home just fine. What do you think about water in Pokemon games? Which I badly want to answer now. It's okay. I think when you're doing an RPG like this, you have to have different types of terrain to go across. I think the biggest flaw with water and caves in Pokemon, and Pokemon in general has this big problem as an RPG, and I think a lot of RPGs have this problem in general, which is where, you know, for example, in Gen 1, you'll have a long journey on water from either Fuchsia or Pallet Town to Cinnabar. And that's actually a pretty long surfing trip. And in general, the trip is kind of treacherous, where you're supposed to have, like, stock up with potions and things like that. And then you get a million wild encounters. There's a lot of trainers there. It's a pretty long journey. But the consequence, if you don't do that, is nothing. Because if you don't stock up, what you're going to do is go back to Pallet Town or Fuchsia to heal from your mom or the Poke Center repeatedly over and over again. And so, like, I think that's kind of annoying. Like, basically, they've made a system where the punishment for not preparing properly isn't that you have a consequence where you lose something by getting knocked out, but the consequence is that, like, you lose just a little bit of money, basically, if you faint. It's not really a big punishment. The consequence is that you are annoyed because you have to waste your fucking time. And a lot of RP... Oh, I was only one early! Oh, I was so close. This is literally exactly one early, so I was close. Just jumping by to say thanks for the event. Video cards, they feel like magic. Awesome, Sean. Thank you so much. So, for me, I think if you're making an RPG, you have to do something better to figure that out. I actually think Mystery Dungeon does a pretty good job at punishing you for not going into a dungeon prepared. Because if you fucking leave a dungeon in Mystery Dungeon early, you lose, like, a lot of stuff. Like, you fail the missions, you wasted your time, you lose the, like, consumable resources you burned. But if I make a game, I'm probably not interested in making an RPG. Oh my gosh. This is probably not worth it, but it's only a minute, so. I actually think the newer Metroid games have a similar problem, where Metroid is supposed to have these tense, long areas where you're getting low on health, and if you die, you go all the way back to the save point. And the new Metroid games removed that. The new Metroid games removed that, the last two ones, removed that in favor of checkpoints. And for me, I think the new Metroid games are doing it better, because yes, that tension is kind of there, especially if you look at a game like Metroid 2 on Game Boy Color, where you have to go down really long hallways, you're running out of missiles, you're running out of health. But, like, it's not fun for me to run out of health and then have to redo everything. Let's try again. Excuse me. Did you do this on a DS? Yep. I have played... Was it Red Rescue Team is the one on the Game Boy Advanced? I played Red Rescue Team. And I watched my wife play through Super Mystery Dungeon. I mean, I've heard nothing but good things about Explorers of Sky. Excuse me, what the... I tend to interact with... Excuse me, oh my gosh. I tend to interact with, Pokemon in one way, which is playing the main series games. That one felt bad. Do one more without calibrating. This is a real game. It is not a ROM hack. You missed the part earlier, but this is a real copy of Ruby. Pokemon Ruby. I could rip it out. Do you guys want me to rip it out again? I'll go crazy. This is Ruby. It's a real Ruby. I wasn't gonna do it, but Dark Void said rip the cartridge out again. I couldn't help myself. Yeah, if you're more interested in what I did, I made a whole playlist about it. Go and find the play. Playlist. Here's my e-reader playlist. I made this myself. No, Pokemon Home for some reason does not check the language of the Mew. I'm not sure why. Shiny Celebi and Emerald, do my event. What's the point of shiny hunting if I'm not transferring? What? I don't understand your question. You can shiny hunt without transferring. What are you talking about? I like the old games. That's the point. I don't transfer almost any Pokemon up anymore. There's like literally no point to transferring that much. Like There was a point to transferring up until Gen 8, but now that transfer moves don't go through, like, I don't really care that much. Since transfer moves don't go into Scarlet and Violet, where it erases your Pokemon's learn set when you send it into that game. To me, there's no point. Like, okay, well, if I can't have Softboiled Clefable, then why am I trading a Clefable all the way up from Emerald? There's no, it can be cool if you're interested in doing it, and like for like Ribbon Masters or something like that, maybe I will transfer those Pokemon, or for a Pokemon I'm particularly fond of, but I don't really care about completing the Pokedex or having a full living shiny dex or something like that. I just keep them in Ruby and do link cable battles with my friend. Are these graphics ported from Fire Red and Leaf Green? Which graphics? The dock and the truck are native to this game. These are all Slateport graphics. And then the truck is the moving truck from the start of the game that you ride in the back of. The Mew is ported over from Emerald, though. That's not in the game. But, like, if you look at this, these are just the tiles from Slateport. Like, these are in Slateport City. And then same with the stuff over at the dock. That's also in Slateport. Dude, that's what I'm saying, LRXC. So I'll explore this area a little bit. So, like, if you look at this, like, this is in Slateport. Like, if we just head back. Yeah, I also stole it from Blunder. When he says yes, but agency. So, like, this is where the dock stuff comes from. Right, you see? Like, I just assembled it in a way the game doesn't usually do it. These tiles. I don't know where those little square tiles are used. I have to find it. See, look. They're used here a little bit, if you take a look at that. What's up, Gago? How you doing? So, that is where I am doing it from. I'm doing well. I like Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald much more than Fire Red and Leaf Green. I think Fire Red and Leaf Green are not very good video games. I think Emerald has a worse single-player adventure through the story. It has a little bit more to do, and the pacing is kind of bad in Emerald. Like, in Emerald, what is the worst part of almost every Pokemon game? And the answer to that question is usually the team villain storyline. I think they're pretty bad, usually. And in Ruby and Sapphire, it's pretty snappy. In Ruby and Sapphire, you just do their secret base, then you go underwater for the submarine. You do the secret base, you go underwater for the submarine, and then you're done with the evil villain story, basically. In Emerald, there is quite a bit more to do, and I don't think it's particularly good in Emerald. I think you have to do... What do you have to do in Emerald? You have to do... You do Team Magma base, then Team Magma at the Space Center, then Team Aqua Base, and then Team Aqua Underwater. And then you go to Sutopolis, and then you go back and climb the tower for Rayquaza. It's quite a bit of a slog, I think. But Emerald has... Emerald has quite a couple of advantages. It has all of those extra events in it, right? Where it has events for Mew, Lugia, Ho-Oh, and Deoxys. Obviously, that's a big benefit. Emerald has the Battle Frontier, which I think is pretty flawed. But if you're a hardcore player, you will get value out of it. The Frontier ranges between... I'll say this. For the Frontier, it feels like you need the brain of an adult, but the free time of a child. This one. I'll do one more and then I'll check. I didn't have too much trouble with the Frontier because of RNG manip. I think the hardest for me in the Frontier was the factory. The Battle Tower is so boring. It's just very tedious. And it takes a long time. I like the Battle Dome. I like the tournament structure. I think the Battle Dome is probably too easy for me. The Battle Pike is also, it feels too easy for me. I'm actually gonna redo this. The Battle Pike has like almost no challenge. Once you learn how it kind of works. I think the Pyramid is maybe the best one. The Pyramid is the best one in the sense that it gives you a big feeling of like tension and stress. It's a bit tedious because you can't run from the battles, but that does give a good challenge. I think if like not every tile in the Pyramid could have an encounter or something, the Pyramid's really close to being like what I want from the Battle Frontier. It's probably the best facility, I would say. I think one of my biggest problems with the Frontier is it probably needs checkpoints or something. Or like continues, right? Like if you want to have a 75 win streak or 74, whatever the Battle Tower is, or 72, I don't remember what it is. It's like 72, 74, or 75 or something. If you want to have that many fucking wins, if you want to have that many wins, just, like, give me 2 continues, man. You know what I mean? Or, like, a checkpoint after I get the silver. So I don't have... That's the biggest problem is, I think in most facilities, it's actually kind of reasonable to get the silver. You could probably get the silver casually without EV training in, like, I would say almost all the facilities. But it's just... Dude, when you lose on, like... Battle 40 in the tower or whatever after getting the silver symbol and you have to do fucking 5 rounds. You have to do 5 rounds of fighting Pichus with no speed up. I want to kill myself. That's so miserable. That's the biggest problem. Do you know what I mean? I think that's by far the biggest problem with the Frontier. Every facility has that problem to some extent, but the Battle Tower has that problem the worst by far. Like, think of it without fast forward, pure retail. Like, oh man, it's so miserable. All right, we'll check this Mew. I mean, I play pretty much only on real hardware, and even I have speed up on real hardware. But like before I had real hardware, I used to do this at a job I had. I was on Seed 3 advances late. I'm not going to adjust. Like I had this job where I didn't really do anything. And I would just bring my Game Boy with me, and I would try the battle tower, and I would just slowly grind at it. What's up, Clydes? How you doing? Oh, Lord, excuse me. I haven't really done the Gen 4 Frontier that much. I'm slowly coming around on the Gen 4 Factory. I am enjoying playing it. Part of my problem is I just don't like 3v3. I feel like I can never prepare a full team in 3v3. I feel like I can never cover all my options. I don't know, though. It'll be an interesting idea to tackle, thinking about what I would change from the Frontier and what I would keep. What is the fun... Like, what... Because obviously, like, I don't only hate the Frontier. I got all the gold symbols, right? Obviously, I enjoyed it some amount if I wanted... You know what I mean? And I think there is certain validity in the tensions that you get from having, like, when you're at, like, you know, Battle Tower 68 and you're fighting a guy who's got a Regice and a Zapdos, like, tensions are high because you could go all the way back to 0, and that's a valid feeling, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that's a good tension, and I think the way you do that is you do probably something like... You probably just have a checkpoint at the silver, and then you never have another checkpoint, because that way people who are going for... Or, you know what? The real solution to it, I think, is... I think the actual solution is probably not doing a checkpoint. It's just making sure... It's just starting off round 1 with tension. Like... Imagine if round 1 of the Battle Factory... You could already have, like, very tough Pokemon... Or not Battle Factory. Oh, I was 10... Oh, I see you. How am I this late, though? Adjust, but it doesn't seem... Not battle round... Like, imagine, like, round 1 of the Battle Tower, you actually had stronger Pokemon to fight. Sort of like a skip to round 5 button? Yeah, basically. Like, where... You don't want... Like, for me, the worst part of the tower is waiting through... Like, waiting through the first, I don't know, 3 rounds, probably, of the Battle Tower. When you're just, like, sitting there, literally fighting fucking Graveler and Pichu. And it's like, like, this is miserable. There is no challenge. Like, in the factory, it's different. Because you have random guys. And so, like, there is slightly more decision-making pretty quickly. Compared to the tower. But in the tower, you can bring a Latios, right? And you could just fucking blast off. I prefer level 100 for factory. I always do level 100 in the Gen 4 factory. I think it's more fun. A lot of people just say to do 50 because they think 50 is easier, but I don't know. I have good head calcs for level 100. Even with the weirdo EV spreads. A timed facility. What do you mean a timed facility? Dude, now it's like 9 early. What the heck? We're getting a bit horsed here. This is Ruby Sapphire. Like, you only have a certain amount of time to prep for a battle using wild encounter or get through a puzzle or something. Yeah, I really want to think about, like, what you can do. Like, really outside the box type of stuff. With it. Yeah, it was sort of like a bug catching contest. But you battle with them instead of just grade the IVs. I was thinking what I would want to do. I feel like I could do something very similar to what Emerald Rogue does. I could get something going that's very similar to it, but without the need for any ROM hack. I could also... What could also be fun is a timed battle facility where you literally have like 1 minute to complete a battle or something. Like blitz chess type of thing. Where like I time how many advances, like how many V blanks were rendered, and you literally have 1 minute to complete the battle. And like if you win the battle and you went over 90 frames, like you just fail or something. I could do that too. These could all happen, LRXE. We have to do a serious brainstorm session. A real brainstorm must occur. I like the Battle Safari. That's really cool. On seed. How late am I now? What am I aiming for? I was 7 advances late. What is going on? I'm being horsed. A horsing is occurred. This is one of the custom events that I made. Yeah. How many other aspect to it? It can just be a time battle tower. Yeah, yeah. Well, like, I would say that a timed battle tower, whoops, would be different than, like, the timed prep facility. Like, I wouldn't include timed battles, like a 1 minute to win the battle, in a facility where I give you 2 minutes to catch Pokemon or something. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do something like that. Like, I think probably a timed prep facility is more interesting than just doing a timed battle. Well, a timed battle facility, I wonder if it would be fun. You would do something like gambling, where you bet how fast you can win the battle. Or maybe it gives you 3 trainers to pick from, and then you bet how fast you can beat them, or something like that. There's got to be something, you know what I mean? What you could do where it's like... Because I'm thinking of, if you've ever played X and Y... If you've ever played X and Y, they have this cafe where they tell you you have to win a battle in X amount of turns, and the closer you get to being exact on the amount of turns that the battle's supposed to last, the bigger reward you get. Trainers also tells you the 3 Pokemon you have to fight them with. It doesn't tell you their sets. So you would have to guess. So, like, literally every battle, you get you get a full new rental team every single battle. Yeah, every single trainer, it goes, you can fight this trainer, it has these 3 Pokemon, you have these 3 Pokemon. If you fight this trainer, they'll have these 3, but you'll have these 3. And you can fight this trainer, you'll have these 3, you could have these 3. And then you do, like, Gamba on whether or not you win or lose. That is an, I think, unique enough idea. In addition... Oh, man. This is a good one. Yeah. Yeah, whatever you get from that person, you need. Yeah, what would you need, though? Are you allowed items in battle? Maybe I let you use items. And you get more potions. Yeah, something similar to, like, the swapping mechanic in Gen 4. Do you know what I mean? Like, in Gen 4, the more you swap Pokemon, the better chance you have of getting, like, a good Pokemon. So the more you are correct in your bets, the better team you're going to get against the final boss, maybe. And that could lead to interesting challenge runs, where you are incorrect on you fail your bets on purpose, so you get a harder team against the boss. It has a fun reverse challenge to that. It is definitely... It is also definitely more interesting than just... Because I was thinking, because you had mentioned you wanted a rental facility again, which I think rental facilities are valuable in the fact that Factory has to be the most played facility because it's the only one you don't need to make your own team for. And so since you don't have to do any work, you can just get right into it. But just having another facility where it's rentals in the same way as the Factory, it's like not that interesting. But this is a different type of, like, not only is it still rentals, but the way it is different from the Factory rentals is entirely different, right? You're getting 3 mons at once. It's interesting. This might be the best idea for a facility so far. A battle casino. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I put a bunch of Team Rocket NPCs in it. This is quite a cook. I think this is going to be something I solidify later. I start like thinking about this. Yeah, and I could use Game Corner graphics to build a new casino. Yeah, we don't have a good concept for what the risk-reward aspect of it is. Like, what are we... Yeah, what is the player getting for gambling and winning, and what are they losing for gambling and winning? I think the concept that we've came up with here, which is where it's you get X amount of opponents, it tells you your team versus those opponents, is very good. It's a totally different style of rental, and it's still it's good. Yes. Yeah, it would tell you. Yeah. No. Yeah, I would do it that way. That's what I was thinking too. I'm thinking it doesn't even... Yeah, I'm thinking it doesn't tell you almost anything about your team. It's just the species that you're competing with. A good idea, LRXC. We have done... There's a cook has happened here. I was 2 frames early. Fuck. Help, I did 2 big cups of coffee, and I feel like I'm going to phase through space-time into another dimension. That's okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be over soon. I'll probably leave. I'll probably finish stream up in 5-10 minutes. I'll get like 2 more attempts in, and then I'll be over. Fuck! This guy beasted me. Alright, later LRXC. I just telepathically connected with Terrence Howard. He was right. He was right about everything. This NPC's owning me. Its power level's crazy. Oh. No, but it's just like when I'm staying in that area with moving NPCs, I lose. Like more RNG is gonna continue. Stop! You violated the law. Do one more. Different Mew. Well, it reads as Faraway Island Mew, but... One more try and then I'm done for today. What? A Pokemon? I think this is dialogue they would put in the game. I feel like this is realistic ass dialogue. Yeah, it's a slightly incorrect palette. What? No way. No way. Oh my god, no way. We'll name it. That was the fastest I've ever seen my chat move. I swear I saw it all jump at once. Well, it looks like there's nothing else here. So this is timid. What are the stats on this bet? It's 31 HP, 14 attack, 30 defense and special attack, and 31 speed and special defense. Looks like there's nothing else here. Cannot save. Save error. Please exchange the backup memory. I can't believe I literally got it on what was going to be my last try. But now you can save. No, I always set flying to no. Wow. That was destiny. Alright. Folks, I will see you later.